It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. And it's coming up next on Madden Football.
Here in the north, the Yaller horn is about to sound and send two teams to battle here at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Thanks for joining us, everyone. With my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. And like so many matchups in the NFL, Brock, our focus goes right to the quarterbacks in this one. Both of these guys, players who've been around the league now for some time, they definitely established themselves as veterans who know how to win football games.
Yeah, I think the word of the day, Kate, is definitely experience. Two guys who've been through the season several times over, have seen a lot at this point in their career, and been through quite a bit on the field. All that experience is stored up there right between the ears. And the one who is more skilled at leveraging that experience, more than likely is going to come away with the win.
Here's the punter, Bradley Pinion, to get this one going. And off we go from Minneapolis. Ty Chandler to return. So here come the Vikings, taking the field for their first drive of the game. And we'll take a glance at their seventh-year QB.
If we had asked Sam Darnold, coming out of USC as the third overall pick in the draft, to write the story of his career, I don't think he would have written some of these chapters. But in the end, it makes you tougher. It makes you grittier. And playing quarterback in the NFL is a lot about that. Your ability to just withstand adversity and to continue to get up time after time after time. And Sam Darnold has shown that kind of perseverance.
Starting the drive with a give to Jones.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
All right, here we go. Second down. And they send a man in motion. Off the play fake, he's going to throw. Grabbed by Jordan Addison. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 27 on the play. And that's going to give the Vikings the first down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
New set of downs for him at the 38. First and 10, here's Jones. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
That's got to be so frustrating for the runner. You're fighting the good fight. He even ripped through a tackle to stay afloat, but the blocking can't buy you enough time or room to even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Offense to the line for second down. Shotgun snap, they're going to throw. Pass his man, it's Addison. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Give him 24 on that play. And it'll bring up a Minnesota first down. Darnold now to throw. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Oh, now Rebel, and it's loose. And the Falcons scoop it up. And the Falcons get the football on the first turnover of the contest. Well, that right there is exactly how you kill some momentum. An early setback, no doubt, but their first time out fumbling it away in enemy territory, that's tough.
And such a bummer, right? Because the journey was going well. You script for success, you get that ball moving, and then you're right, you just lose all sorts of momentum. Got to recapture it the next time out.
So here are the Falcons out on offense for their first drive. And leading them out in his 13th season out of Michigan State is Kirk Cousins.
Well over a decade has started in this league, and Kirk Cousins put up some prolific numbers. The thing that's eluded him, despite all the stats, are those playoff opportunities and those marquee postseason victories. I think Kirk, his family, and everybody rooting for him hopes the final chapters of his career will contain some of those.
Nabbed by Kyle Pitts. And this one gets up to the 14-yard line before he's stopped.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, just find a way to get him the ball.
He'll get this complete to Pitts. And he's able to get it to the 21 as he goes down. A 70-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. They'll run it here with... He takes a pop, and the ball comes out. It's picked out by the Vikings, going the other way. And what a way to begin the scoring, Brock, as they take it back for the touchdown. The Vikings get a perfect start. They've gone up 6-0. I think they would have happily just taken the turnover, Brock, but how about the wherewithal of the defender to take it back for the score?
Yeah, that is a scoop and score in the definition of a splash play defensively. You don't just rip possession away from the offense, kind of rip their heart out too. You rip possession, you turn it into points, and now that beleaguered offense is going to have to get right back on the field.
Romo's point after is good. And the Vikings will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Nice little energy on their sideline after that fumble return scored, and with plenty of energy, he'll send this one away. Here's Avery Williams on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. They're out and set, 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Cousins. Pass is caught. That's Darnell Mooney. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. And they can go ahead and stay in that huddle. We're at the end of the first quarter. Neither side separating much so far. More from US Bank Stadium after the break. Back for our second quarter. It's Falcons football. They're looking at 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Robinson. Across the 45 and still going. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And the Falcons will have a first.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the first down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Cousins. Throw reeled in by London. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Play action now for Cousins. Complete. It's Bijan Robinson. And they bring him down around the 34. 8 yards on the gain, and the drive continues forward.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
They send the tight end in motion. On 1st and 10, it's Cousins. That one's complete to London. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Shaq Griffin finishing that play off. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Now Cousins again. That's brought in by Mooney. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first. From the red zone now. Did not like what he was seeing, Brock, and he just hurls this one away.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams would call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you got to count on those being efficient and effective.
This one's caught. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options, well, there is their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
And the Vikings add an extra defensive back for this third down. Shotgun snap now to Cousins. Complete beyond the marker. Touchdown, Atlanta. So the offense showing a slightly different dimension there, Brock, getting the running back involved with his hands for the touchdown.
Yeah, such an advantage. I think when you think about it, Kate, it really is about the 80s where we start to see these running backs not just tote the ball as runners, but be real weapons when they get the ball in the passing game.
Yeah.
That's well done.
Young Hui Koo on for the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Falcons tie this game 7-7. Out to kick it away, here's Pinion. Chandler now on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Minnesota all set to go for its second drive. They'll have to be quick about anything they want to do here. We're just moments away from halftime. Only half a minute to go in our half. Let's see how they begin the drive. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. He keeps those feet in and makes the catch.
Well, that one came with a high degree of difficulty. He had to balance focusing on the catch, keeping those feet in bounds.
2nd and 3 now. They go play action here. Searching well behind the line.
That was simply a case of not enough time available to let that play develop. That throw was out so quick, and he wasn't able to reel it in.
3rd and short here, trying to pass. Able to find Hawkinson. It's a 23-yard pickup on the play. And that's going to give the Vikings the first down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
On the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. He'll throw it yet again. He beams one deep right, and someone stepped in. It's intercepted. That's Justin Simmons. And the Falcons make the defensive stand and come through with a turnover in the final moments of the half.
Well, that's now his 2nd time that he's put his defense in a tough spot. That's a hard thing about playing quarterback, Kate. You know, with these interceptions and now the 2nd on the day, you're asking your defense again to step up to another series, another possession, another challenge. This quarterback's got to start protecting the football.
All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a first down. That brings us to halftime, and these teams locked up on the scoreboard. It's a 7-7 ball game. Now we'll get you down to our Orlando studios for the EA Sports Halftime Report with Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. We'll let you and Brock catch your breath as we welcome the rest of you to our EA Sports Halftime Report.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our 3rd quarter. Here comes Williams on the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Out comes the Atlanta offense for the debut possession of the 2nd half. And they could take control of the 2nd half early, Brock, if they break the tie on this opening drive. First down throw for Cousins. To the sideline, it's secured by London. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
On second down, Robinson. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
To be a stud back in this league, it takes more than just checking the athletic boxes. There's an IQ, a feel, a patience and craftiness required, along with just tremendous vision. He showed all of it navigating that run up the middle.
First and 10, here's Cousins. Into the hands of Pitts. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs. On the 44-yard line now, first and 10. Back to throw, Cousins. Pitts brings it in. The ball is out! Oh, the fumble jumps out of bounds. What a break there for the offense. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
I think that's one of those cases, Kate, where this defense wished that ball was round. You know, it's not, and it bounces in funny ways, and unfortunately for the defense there, it bounces the wrong way right out of bounds.
Pass is caught at the 9! And he crosses out of bounds, and now we're going to learn who the penalty flag is on. Would have liked to have kept that big play, but the officials and penalties say no. It's got to come back. Double the distance to go after that holding call. It's now first and 20. Running it after the penalty. And with a nice gain, he runs him down inside of field goal range. A nice gain of 8 on first, and now they're going to have second down and 12. Working from the gun, it's Cousins. He smartly won't risk something here and just chucks it away.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. The defense, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here. Out of the gun, Cousins. Throwing all the way to the end zone here. And he will score. Touchdown, Atlanta. The Falcons take the lead right away in half number 2. Well, they definitely wanted to get that one out quick, Brock. They did just that, and it ends in 6.
We hear it all the time, but it is so true, Kate. This is a game about matchups, and when you see a throw that quick, it really was determined pre-snap. It was great design and tremendous execution.
Coup on now for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Falcons break that tie and now lead by 7.
Vikings 7.
Out to kick it away, here's Pinion. Chandler now on the return. The Vikings and Sam Darnold heading out for their next shot on offense. And as we can see here, it hasn't been the easiest game for him to operate out there, right? Number of rough moments for him. This defense able to pick him off twice to highlight their performance against him. Drive starts out with a first and 10. Off the play fake, he'll throw. And this throw is knocked away, incomplete.
With all due respect to some of the great linebackers back in the day, to play the position today, man, you've got to be versatile. You can't just be a come up and stuff the run. You got to play coverage. And these defenses more and more rely on you to break up throws just like that.
Second and 10 now. He's on the move. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him, calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. that inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
Finds him on the crossing route. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. So we hit the end of the third quarter. It's Vikings football. They're down, but not out on the scoreboard. They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Now Darnold. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
We've learned how valuable sacks and a pass rush are in today's NFL. It's a bit surprising, isn't it, Kate, that that's their first sack of the game, but they found other ways to produce success on both sides of the ball, and they finally pick up a much-needed sack on that stat sheet.
The pass ball's incomplete, but was there a reason for it? We see a flag out there. So not a holding call. One of the linemen actually too far downfield that time. That's what drew the flag.
Still 2nd down.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Here's Darnold to throw. Wow, wide open here. Complete. And he's out of bounds after getting across the 45.
Kate, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
Looking to throw. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground. Looking for his wide receiver there. So that brings up 4th and long.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time, well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion.
Now here come the Falcons on offense. And after watching their passing attack take them the length of the field last drive, Brock, I expect we're probably going to see a heavy dose of the aerial attack again here. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Putting a receiver in motion. They fake the handoff. Now Cousins. Finds it. They get to him, and he loses the football. It's out. It's picked out by the Vikings going the other way. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. Well, that didn't take long, Brock. One play, and they're back out there.
Well, that's how a defense can make you awfully happy as an offensive player, especially when you screw it up and you fumble. The defense picks up that offense and puts them right back on the field.
The Vikings now set to take the field. Well, their last drive, not the one they want to replicate after they were forced to punt it away. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Throwing now, following the turnover. He's got him, that's Addison. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Connects with his back, Aaron Jones. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line. It's a gain of 12 there. And it'll bring up a Minnesota 1st down. It's the 2-minute warning here in Minneapolis. Vikings down by 7. A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, But I don't know how you test courage at the combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
And he takes it in for the Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings cut it to a point late in this one. It's a Justin Jefferson touchdown. So they get the all-important touchdown here late in the game, Brock. Now the question, play for the tie or go for two and the lead?
And I know they've got all these charts and numbers and analytics to tell you what to do, but this comes down to the gut and the trust of the head coach. Does he trust his offense more to go get this two-point conversion, or is he going to lean into his defense and believe that they can get the stop?
And everyone can breathe easier now. His try is good, and they found a way to tie it late in the fourth.
John Parker Romo to kick off.
Here's Romo to handle the kickoff. Here comes Williams on the return. This return makes it up to the 25. The Falcons and Kirk Cousins headed back out to the field now. And he has to be happy about his game. We're checking some of the highlights right now that he's made so far. A good showing that's seen him in the zone from time to time. And also he's just seen the field well from his spot in the middle of this offense. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. To throw. Along the sideline, and Pitts brings it in. And as this play goes out of bounds, all eyes turn to that flag on the field.
Defense.
Always a point of emphasis, right? Protecting the quarterbacks, and that play is going to draw the flag every time. Roughing the passer on that last play, and that's always going to lead to an automatic 1st down. Looking to throw it. Oh, my goodness, it's intercepted. Picked up by Stephon Gilmore. And the Vikings will take over along the midfield stripe after the interception and return. Oh, boy, they cleaned up the fumbling issues from the last drive, and now it's an interception that turns the ball over.
Yeah, and two very different tones and tenors on these two sidelines. One coach is pleading, begging for some ball security. The other is simply saying, keep it up, boys. Keep taking that ball away. Job well done.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Throwing now. Pass is caught by Addison. And he's brought down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line. The Vikings call a timeout. It'll be their first. And they still have two available for them as we approach the end of this game. Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. Now to throw. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
Has the connection to Hawkinson. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
They're all set up for the game winner. Let's see how they approach it, starting with this 1st and goal. They'll run here with Jones. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play. The Falcons spend the first of their 3 timeouts. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Gotta forget about first down in a hurry. They need a chunk of yards here on 2nd and goal. Staying on the ground with Jones. Timeout called by Atlanta. That's going to be at 2nd. Still one more in their pocket to use. So now, here's 3rd and goal. They'll run with Jones. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line. The Falcons take a timeout to their final one. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. That one is good! And they're going to take the lead inside the final minute.
You know what I love about that, Kate? He didn't shrink from the spotlight. He seized the moment, made it his own. And that kick might just win them this game.
Here's Romo to handle the kickoff. Here comes Williams on the return. They'll bring him down on the return as he gets this to the 33. Here's Atlanta ready to take over possession. And Brock, I know the goal is always points every drive, but I think just as big a goal, gotta play clean football here. You cannot give it away for a 3rd consecutive possession.
Yeah, we call that rebuilding some confidence in yourself as a group, right? Just to execute without the mistakes. Pros, you can shake off a turnover with ease, but back-to-back, even the seasoned vets have a little trouble getting past that.
And he's gonna bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stops. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. It brings up 3rd down. Here he is to throw. And that's incomplete, and it also stops the clock with just 5 seconds left.
You know, these 3rd and short situations, you rep them all the time. Snap after snap, rep after rep. You're expecting man-to-man coverage in that down and distance, and you're expecting to execute. That time on 3rd and short, they can't get the job done.
Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. Oh, they get to him behind the line, and he loses the football. It's picked out by the Vikings, going the other way. So it's a win for the Vikings. And they got the field goal when it mattered most. That kicked the difference in the game and what lets them leave here with a victory. And with Brock Heward and our EA Sports crew, I'm Kid Scott saying so long from this one. The Vikings emerge as winners as we bid you farewell from Minneapolis.